So then we think that there's some recommendations to go beyond the government and beyond the community development field of practice, recommendations for businesses and for trusts. As there is inevitably a cutback in public expenditure, it means that communities will also need to have new inflows of private investment and also voluntary and pro bono expertise. Some of you have been working in coalfields communities and other communities that have suffered the consequences of private disinvestment. Now is a period when we need big firms, corporations, private bodies, philanthropists, trusts, to be saying we have to put some money into building neighbourhoods, communities of interest and of place, because this is a necessary part of holding a society together during a profound period of change. And there will be a continued need for public investment, absolutely crucial, but it needs to be complemented. And there's a big challenge to companies and firms to turn corporate social responsibility not just into an abstract thing, bit of charitable giving here, bit of time off for the workforce, but to really take responsibility for helping to develop perhaps the communities in which they're based, and to take a lead, to go out with generosity and real investment of money and of time. We think this will need quite a lot of innovation by firms and new measures of how they measure their activity. There's a lot of talk now about social responsibility and investment, and perhaps you'll allow me the luxury. I just had published a book yesterday, or Saturday, called Public Value, which is trying to say we need to find a way of measuring the value that is added to the public sphere by private firms, by the voluntary sector and so on. I think finally, we're almost there, there are some recommendations to local government and civil society, and we really want to avoid a split. We want to avoid the danger that people will say, well, we'll bypass local government in order to invest in informal community organisations and community associations. Our belief as a panel is that the best work done in communities is when you have lively and strong, bottom-up, grassroots community organisation supported by a local authority that acts in a different way. David Blunkett, who was sitting in your seat just a few minutes ago, developed that in the 1980s. Why Sheffield City Council in the 1980s was an energetic and a lively and a loved council. It was because it was seen as a council that supported community-based initiatives in all kinds of practical ways. And we believe that we can see the strengthening of civil society organisations, but not at the expense. That will involve new kinds of working. It means that we've got to have a local government which is enabling and developmental, not just delivering services, but developing communities. It's a new stance, and it involves a lot of innovation. Next steps, and I think this is the penultimate slide. We hope that the community development world will continue to argue to government and confidently in public arenas for the value and effectiveness of community development as a practice. A great deal is known about how to do it. Come out of the closet and let's make that knowledge be known. Looking critically at things that haven't worked so well, but being confident about what we know. Let's get that out into the open and engage in debate. Secondly, that does mean engaging with the government, whether you agree with it or not, but engaging with the debate about big society. There's never been a better moment for this debate to take place. We've got a government talking about it. For God's sake, let's get in and help. And CDF has already put in, I think on behalf of our panel, a submission as part of that consultation. But that will continue. We think that there might also be an opportunity for one of the bigger trusts or foundations, or maybe a group of them, to sponsor some independent work. Remember that in America it was the Ford Foundation, it was the Rockefeller Foundation, in Britain the Rowntree Foundation, the Cadbury Foundation, who pioneered a lot of community development work, particularly in disadvantaged communities. And we've wondered whether this might be a moment in time to explore with trusts the initiation of another programme of community development to tackle poverty and disadvantage. There isn't complete support for that view. The panel was quite divided about it, but it's one idea. Final point is, I think, although we're launching this report in the House of Commons, the whole spirit of community development is that it's not that we're pushing these recommendations and ideas upwards and say, now do it for us. We're saying this is a debate and a movement in which what happens next is up to us and to you, in whatever communities you live and work, whatever organisations you work for, to see if we can energise a new current of activity. So let's seize the time and just do it.